So hello there, we are back and we will continue now with another talk. We will talk about a really nice, sweet project, Internet of Things Junior Cup. Internet of Things is creeps out in every aspect of our life. And smartphones, wearables, tablets, smart TVs, smart cities, smart houses, are just the tip of an iceberg, and in maybe next 5-10 years we will be concerned about where do we find those IoT professionals. So we have to be really concerned about how do we motivate people to get involved. And now I would like to introduce you to Mr. Hafenschenger, Wolfgang. Thanks. And we will talk about the initiative Internet of Things Junior Cup now.
So hello, and thank you for joining in my presentation of the IoT Junior Cup. I will tell you what the motivation is, why we are doing this, and what we have done so far. But first I want to go back to think about what is the Internet of Things. If you Google it and search on Wikipedia, you come to the definition that Internet of Things is basically a network of physically connected objects which you want to exchange data to have a service which benefits the end user. And if you think about this, it looks like a really abstract concept, but if you go into more detail, you will quickly find that it's not an abstract concept. It's nowadays in everyone's life, as you said before, and my guess is that almost everyone in this audience is already connected. I think you are wearing your smartphone, you are wearing wearables. I don't see so many Google Glasses at the moment, but even if you don't have those devices on you now, there is a high chance that you have other devices, for example in your home. Maybe you have even a smart home, you have your internet-connected television, you have your gaming centers, and so on. And if you're still skeptical and don't think that you are part of the Internet of Things, then you will quickly realize that nowadays there is no chance to get away from this topic. You have smart everything, you have smart cities, you're using smart energy, you're using smart buildings, you're using transport, and maybe even you work in a smart factory. And this is exactly where it gets interesting for me and the company I co-founded. I'm co-founder of the company iMetrics, and our origin is that we are a child of the current industrial revolution. My co-founder was working in the automotive industry, and he was realizing big manufacturing execution systems, complex systems which control factories for Mercedes, for Audi, and big manufacturing companies. And the idea was, why isn't there a tool which can be used by everyone? Because there are only those complex solutions. And this was our basic idea. We wanted to bring IoT technology into the industry. That's where we're coming from. And our approach was to create the simplest product possible, to use cheaply available technology, and to realize a project which can be used by the end user themselves. So what we came up with is a central cloud system where you have all your collected data and where you can optimize your processes. And while we implemented the system, we also needed our own hardware. I can demonstrate it to you later on the booth if you're interested. So what we saw is that you need a complete system. You need the devices to collect the data, you need the cloud to use the data, and then you can process the data in the browser. So that's the complete concept, which is a concept that empowers the user to realize their own optimization processes. So after 3 years, we are now in the stage that we are used in many different fields. Our users use us in factories, in stores, on many different locations, in different facilities. And what they're doing is always, they're checking production KPIs, they're collecting building data, and they're collecting energy KPIs. And also a central part of the system is that all the users, they can exchange their knowledge, not only with external people, but also within the company, which is really needed. So this is the area where we are coming from. And the thing is that we have realized something. We have realized that we are changing the world. We are making a we have direct influence on the world. We are not only consuming these services, but we also create them. And this is what drives us, why we are doing the IoT Junior Cup. We want to motivate young people to realize that they are not only consumers, but they have the power to realize projects, to create their own services. And it's really possible on a global level. It was never easier than now to realize your own project. It's so cheap. You needed millions of euros several years ago, and nowadays you have your Arduinos, Raspberry Pis, whatever your framework is. But it's really easy to get going and to create your own services. So that's what we want to do. We want to show and motivate the pupils and students. And of course, we are a tech company and we need talent. And we needed to see, is there talent available in Austria? And to get to this talent. And that's where it all started. The IoT Junior Cup, the competition, is financially supported by NetID. NetID itself is a funding program which supports open source projects. And they decided to support us, the IoT Junior Cup, financially. And insider sources told me today that within the next 2 weeks there is a new application period. So if you have your own project which you want to realize and need funding for, you can apply there. And this is where all started, but it was just Metrics and NetID with a little bit of funding. So we wanted to make it bigger. And to make it bigger, you need a lot of help. And that's where we found many great partners. Some partners are here today, like Phoenix Contact, like IoT Vienna, which is hosting the event, Ostomotics, which held the talk earlier. And it was really easy to motivate companies to invest in this opportunity. It's a topic, it's everywhere, IoT, and everyone wants to participate. And it was not only that we could acquire partners, but also many supporters, which are just interested in getting the message out, which are supporting us in telling everyone that the IoT Junior Cup exists. And with this mix, we were able to create the competition. So of course, we have nice awards and prizes. What's also great is that we have the community support, like IoT Vienna, which really actively helps the projects if they have any questions, if there are any problems with feedback and experts. And a big part of the competition or the IoT Cup is that we were able to build a portfolio of hardware and software which is given free to all the participants. And not only for the competition itself, but they can keep the devices. So it's just by applying and taking part in the competition, you are already winning. So you don't have to be a winning project to have a benefit from the project. And that's where we started. So the idea was last year in November, and we were able to, within 2 weeks, to gather all the partners and to describe the competition in detail. And so on 20th of January, we kicked off the event in a big press conference. Media joined us, media spread the message, and it was great. But what we didn't think of, and that's a big learning for the first time we are doing this. Okay, sorry, we have a cool website. You can see all the projects, so that's also part of the press conference. From this day on, you could submit your ideas. And the big learning we had is we only had 30 days of submission period. So it's really a short time to get many projects. And that's really something we learned. Normally you should do like 12 months in advance to get all the projects. And that's why I listed so many tasks. We were really active. The whole team, I think 7 people, was constantly calling. So we didn't send any spam mails, like you can read here. We called all the schools. We made many telephone calls to just acquire the project. And we also decided that we extended from 30 to 45 days. And this is the result. And we are quite happy with it. We were able to get 3,500 people on the website, which were interested in the topic. And from 49 projects which applied, we were able to support 48 of them. And this, behind these projects are 128 really motivated people who are doing the project. And we supported them with 147 hardware devices and software licenses. And you can see all this data on our blog, on our website. You can go there. There's much more data. And other things I want to highlight is this graph is showing the application period, like comparison between website traffic and project applications. And you can see the first peak in the middle. It was the first deadline for submission, so you see the spike in the end. If you want to do your own competition, you can learn from this. And what we're also happy with is from those 128 people, almost every 4th of them is female. That was a really big concern. We were not sure, are there really, is it really a mixed audience, or is it like in the industry? Almost everyone is male, and it's great to see that the interest is between all genders. And also a graphic I borrowed from a magazine. So we are almost there. We didn't motivate every state, but in most of them they are participating. And for the first try, we are quite happy with participation. And the great thing is not so much the number of projects or the number of people. It's just great to see the high quality of the projects. We have 48 really high quality projects, and you can see them online. We have a link where every project is described in detail. And also today, I didn't bring them with me, but you can see it downstairs. There are 4 projects. It's the Echo printer, a printer which is producing, which you can do yourself. You can replicate the printer. That's the result of the project. A printer which can be made easily from recycled material. Smart Classroom is collecting sensor data in the classroom and trying to optimize air quality and energy consumption. Low power weather capturing is providing an environment monitoring service for wine production. And iCharge.you is also interesting. It's a charging station based on open source components for electronic vehicles. And you can see them downstairs, you can touch them, you can talk to them, and you can see all the projects. And that's about almost all I wanted to say. You can follow us online to see how the projects are progressing. You will get information about who won the competition in July. And of course, you can also come by and you can see the results, because the competition is an open source competition. So the results will be published and are publicly available. So if you want to base your project on open source technology, that is a good